manobuddhyahaṅkāra cittāni nāhaṃ na ca śrotrajihve na ca ghrāṇanetre na ca vyoma bhūmir na tejo na vāyuḥ cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham na ca prāṇasaṅjño na vai pañcavāyuḥ na va saptadhātur na va pañcakośaḥ na vākpāṇipādam na copasthapāyu cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham na me dveşarāgau na me lobhamohau mado naiva me naiva mātsaryabhāvaḥ na dharmo na chārdho na kāmo na mokṣah cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham na punyam na papam na saukhyam na dukkham na mantro na tirtham na veda na yajñāh aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham na mrityurna shanga na me jati bhedah vidhanaiva me naiva mata na janma na bandhur na mitram gurur naiva shishyah cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham aham nirvikalpo nirakārarupo vibhutvaca sarvatra sarvendriyāna na casangatam naiva muktirna meyah cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham 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 śivo'ham.
Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Oh. In this Nirvanashatkam Satsanga, so far we have seen 3 shlokas. As the name indicates, there are 6 shlokas. Out of them, we have seen the first 3 shlokas. And the last shloka was Name dveşarāgau, Name lobhamohau, mado naiva me, naiva mātsaryabhāvaḥ. Na dharmaha, na charthaha, na kamaha, na mokshaha. Cidānandarūpaḥ, śivo'ham, śivo'ham. Now we can enter into the 4th shloka. That is, na punyam na papam, na saukhyam na dukkham, na mandro na tirtham, na veda na yajñāh. Aham bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta, cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham, na mantro, na tirtham, na veda, na yajñāh. Aham bhojanam, naiva bhojyam, na bhokta, cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham. In all the shlokas, we are negating those which we can negate, and thereby we are reaffirming, who am I? So this is a text of negation and affirmation. And in the first 2 shlokas, we were negating many superimpositions. And in the 3rd shloka, we started negating many false identifications with objects as mine. In this shloka also, the first part is negating such false identifications, and the second part is both negation of superimposition and affirmation, who am I? See, before starting the discussion, we can see the padacheda, how to break the shabdas here. It is very easy here because that much sandhi is not there. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham, na mantraha, na tirtham, na vedaha, na yajñāh. Aham bhojanam, na eva bhojyam, na bhokta, cidānandarūpaḥ śivo'ham śivo'ham. This is the shloka. So in the first half, what we are negating? Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham, na mantraha, na tirtham, na vedaha, na yajñāh. these things like punyam, papam, saukhyam, dukkham, nobody is considering as oneself. Nobody in this world is considering I am punyam, or I am papam, or I am sukham, or I am dukkham. No. So it is those connected with me. And just like in the previous shloka, na me dveşarāgau, na me lobhamohau. That shabda me we must bring into this shloka also. So while seeing the meaning, we have to add me, and we must bring from the previous shloka. That is me na punyam, me na papam, me na saukhyam, me na dukkham, me na mantraha, me na tirtham, me na vedaha, me na nāhaṃ. Because all these are connected with me, and I am falsely identifying with them. So here they are being negated. Just like in the previous shloka we said, na me dveşarāgau. There is no attachment and aversion for me. In the same way, here also we have to take the meaning as, for me, there is no virtue, there is no sin. Punyam is the effect of virtuous karma. Punyam is not a virtue as such. Punyam is the effect, what we are accruing from virtuous deeds. That is from karma, which are educated by Shastra, which we are supposed to perform. By doing such karma, we are getting benefits of such virtuous karma, and that bring in light, happiness, clarity, and all such virtuous effect within us. And with them, a human being can ascend. He can ascend to real divinehood, and from there he can go still up and realize the truth. That is by virtue or by the effect of virtuous karma, we can have purity of mind, and with that purity, we can reach to that sublime height where we are realizing our own self. So in that way, punya is beneficial, but at the same time, punya also, that is virtue also, is in the dual plane. It comes in the dual plane where there is virtue and there is sin. And if we are not reaching to the sublime height of realization, then punya also is binding us. Just like Papa binds us into sorrows, limitations, and of course, ignorance. Punya also binds us to pleasures and the bondage of knowledge that I am a knower, I am a wise man, I know all shastras, and I am happy here, I am living happily here. Thoughts, they will bind us. Sukha sangena baddhanati jnana sangena. So punya also is binding us. Punya also comes in the dual plane. Where there is no duality, where I am alone, established in myself, then there is no punya, there is no papa. That is my real nature. So I have no punya, I am not virtue, I don't have virtue and the effect of virtuous deeds. And in the same way, papa is negated. Papa is sin or the effects of sinful karma. We can take papa as sin and at the same time as the effect of sinful karma. What they are? They are making the covering around us more and more thicker. The light, the effulgence which we are, it won't shine, it won't come out. It won't enlighten our intellect. Light is there. Our real nature is a luminous nature. And that luminous nature, Swarupa, is illuminating the intellect, then mind, then senses, then the body. But when papa samskara is there, it is increasing. What happens? The covering, which is limiting the inner light, which is covering the inner effulgence, that will become more and more thicker. And our intellect, our mind, our senses, all this will grow up in ignorance. So that is the effect of papa karma. And immediate effect of papa is sorrow. Whatever be the circumstances we are living in, whatever situations may be around us, when the volume of papa, that is effect of bad karma, increases, we won't find happiness around us. We won't have pleasure. It is not shining. So the effect is sorrow. But here, both are negated. I have no punya, no papa. I don't have the effect of virtue and sin. All these are accumulated in the mind stuff, that is chitta, not in me. I don't have both. I don't have both. Of course, punya is coming and papa is coming, but both are staying or both are accumulating in the mind stuff. I don't have both. I am above both. So, name pam, name papam. In the same way, na saukhyam, na dukkham. Saukhyam is pleasure and dukkham is pain. Happiness and sorrow, pleasure and pain. I don't have both. I don't have both. This pleasure and pain, sorrows and happiness, they are in the mental stuff. Mind they have, but I don't have. They are accumulated in the mind. Then a question may come. I am experiencing this. I am experiencing. As I am experiencing, they are for me. The answer is, when I am identifying myself with mind and intellect, then only I have this. When this identification is not there, when that identification is not there, I don't have. I don't have. All these are in the mental plane only. When I am identifying with all these adjuncts, I have sukha, I have dukkha, I have punya, I have papa. But I am realizing now, I don't have this. So these are the effects of false identifications. So na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. Then na mantraha. Na mantraha. What is mantra? There are many meanings for mantra. See, rishis, after realizing the ultimate reality, after their realization and inner compassion, they taught to the world, they exhorted to the world at large, what they have realized. And these teachings are the expressions of their inner experience. That is called mantra. That is, Rishis translated their experience into words, into teaching. And such teachings of many, many rishis imparted to different students at different places and times. They were collected together, and this collection is called Samhita. It is the first part of Veda. The first part of Veda is Samhita. And Samhita is collected things. When we are collecting many things, it is called Samhita. So here, Samhita of mantras. And other branches of knowledges. Not the ultimate realization, but in the field of other branches of knowledge. There are also rishis, they taught to the world, but they have seen, but they knew. And thus came many, many branches of knowledge like Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, Sthapatya Veda, Artha Veda, so many branches. This is called, that is the teachings of rishis. When they are put in black and white, it is called mantra. And there is another meaning for mantra, and that is when something is advised, that is the advice given by somebody, by mother, by father, and by the teacher, then it is called a mantra. And advices given by ministers to kings, rulers, that is called mantra. And when we are in some discussions, and some tips for success are taught, they also are called mantra. They are called mantra. So, in whichever sense we take, the meaning of mantra will be that which will save us when we are accepting it, when we are contemplating it. So mantra is mananad trayate, that which saves by contemplation. When we are contemplating within, it will save us. That is mantra. So a sadhaka, a seeker, for him, the first and foremost base on which he have to start his quest is mantra. From mantra he begins, through mantra he travels, unto mantra he reaches. So the beginning, the pathway, and the goal, as far as a sadhaka is concerned, is mantra. There is no doubt in that. So mantra is saving. Mantra is making us reach. So for a sadhaka, the greatest guide and the greatest companion, everything is mantra. But at the same time, I am not mantra. For me, mantra is irrelevant, immaterial, because I am knowledge absolute. I am existence absolute and I am bliss absolute. In the dual plane, in the plane of duality, where there is seeker and where there is a realized one, mantra is relevant. But in the real sense, there is no mantra. So for me, there is no mantra. I don't have mantra. Na me mantra. Then na tirtham. Tirtham. See, in our Samskriti, we are giving much value to tirtham. We cannot translate tirtham into English or any other language. Sometimes we may say a holy place. Sometimes we may translate as a shore of a river. Yes, such translations are there. I know. But in the real sense, we cannot translate tirtha into any other language. It has many, many meanings. One meaning of tirtha is acharya, that is teacher. In that sense, we are using the word satirthya and all. Those who are studying or those who have studied under one guru, they are satirthyas. How? Because tirtha is guru. Guru is the tirtha. So now let us think what tirtha is. Broadly, there are two types of tirthas. One is moving and the other is immoving. So moving tirthas are there and immovable tirthas are there. What are these moving tirthas? They are Mahatmas, men of realization. Those who are residing in themselves as the very embodiment of bliss. And of course, parabhaktas, who are dwelling in divinity. Always dwelling in divinity. Parabhaktas, they are called tirtha. And men of realization, they are called tirthas. So they are moving tirthas. They will move from one place to another. They will radiate inner joy and happiness around. They will spread knowledge. They are tirthas. Then there are immovable tirthas. Certain holy places, like shore of some rivers, or some places where great temples are established, or some places where some Mahatmas lived, some Mahatmas did their tapasya, or some places where the birth of some Mahatmas happened, or death, samadhi, of Mahatmas happened. Such places we are considering as tirthas. There are many, many tirthas. This Bharat is a holy land of tirthas. And we are dividing tirthas into many categories. For example, Sapta Moksha Puris we have, like Ayodhya, Mathura, Kashi, Kanchi, Maya, Avantika, Puri Dwaravati, like that. And there are Dwadasha Jyotirlingas, where 12 Jyotirlingas are installed. Then there are Chatur Mathas, where Bhagavan Bhashyakara established formats. And of course, such mathas of other acharyas also, in the Dvaita tradition, in the Vishishta Dvaita tradition, in the Pushti Marga tradition, so many places are considered as tirthas. And dhamas, '51 Shakti Pithas. So many tirthas are there. Tirtharaj, Tirtha Guru, so many tirthas. And from time immemorial, we cannot say from which year, we cannot say. It is the tradition. It is our tradition to go to tirthas, stay there, and then go to another tirtha. So doing tirthadana is a part of our culture. It's a part of our life vision. So for a seeker, tirthadana have much relevance. It has much relevance. But I am not tirtha. For me, there is no tirtha. I am above all tirthas, all the tirthas. I am residing in myself. And being knowledge absolute, existence absolute, and bliss absolute, I don't have any tirthas. No tirthas have relevance for me. So it is also negated. Na tirtham. In the same way, na vedaha, na yajñaha. Veda is the very base or very foundation of our dharma. The whole edifice of Sanatana Dharma is built on the very bottom rock of Vedas. As aptly said by Manu, Vedo Ghilo Dharma Moolam. The very root of all dharma is Veda. And Veda is wisdom. Veda is knowledge. And it is through Veda we are reaching to the ultimate realization in this life. So for a sadhaka, the first light is the light of Veda, with which he is doing the quest, his inquiry. So it is Veda a sadhaka must rely upon. But that also is negated here. In the path it is relevant. For a seeker it is relevant. But I am realizing now, I don't have Veda. For me, there is no meaning for them. Na Vedaha. And then yajñas are negated. Na yajñaha. Na yajñaha. All virtuous deeds are yajñas. All service activities are yajnas. All activities to negate our false identification with objects are yajnas. All karma to negate our own limited ego is yajna. And all offerings are yajnas. Offering to God, devatas, to the society. All offerings are yajnas. And actually, it is the web on which all the universal phenomena are existing. It is the very base, because giving and taking, even the existence of a single molecule is on yajna. How? See, when atoms, they are sharing their electrons in the outer shell, they are making a molecule. And of molecules, the whole physical things are built. Even a molecule is made of yajna, that sharing, giving and taking. All the phenomena we are seeing around us, whether it be rain, whether it be sunlight, whether it be wind, whatever, all are manifestations of yajna, different forms of yajna. When water is flowing from one place to another, it is a yajna. When air is flowing, it is a yajna. When sunlight is spreading, it is a yajna. When it is raining, it is a yajna. So yajna is that which is sustaining the whole world. So it is the greatest thing. But it is irrelevant for me. I don't have yajnas. In the plane of duality, yajnas are there, and we must perform yajna. There's no doubt in that. And for attaining purity of mind, we must perform yajna. There is no question there. There is no doubt in that. But where there is no duality, where I am residing in myself, what is yajna for? What yajna is there? When there are no two, like two bodies, two worlds, two planes, two things, then how yajna can be there? So I don't have yajna. Na yajnaha. Na yajnaha. So na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham, na mantro, na tirtham, na veda, na yajnaha. So these are negations of false identifications. And now after this, the next pada is negating many superimpositions, just like we did in the first two shlokas. And what they are? Aham naiva bhojanam, naiva bhojyam, naiva bhokta. Aham naiva bhojanam, naiva bhojyam, na bhokta. bhokta. The verbal meaning is eater. Because bhuja, to eat. Bhokta is eater. But the term we have to take as to mean experiencer, enjoyer, one who is experiencing. So I am experiencing the world. I am seeing the world. I am hearing. I am touching. I am smelling. I am tasting. So I am experiencing this world. But all these experiences are there when I am identifying myself with the body-mind-intellect complex. When that identification is there, then I am an enjoyer. I am enjoying. I am experiencing. So I am the experiencer and the world is experienced. But when there is no that duality, when I am not identifying myself with these adjuncts, then who is the experiencer? What is experienced? What is the activity of experiencing? No, it is not there. So it is said, I am neither the experiencer nor bhojanam. Bhojanam is the act of eating. Act of eating, act of experiencing. It happens when the senses, when the organs of action and mind works together. So senses of cognition or action, organs of action, they are working abreast with the mind, and I am shining them all. I am giving light to them all. Then the process of enjoying happens. Bhojanam happens. Bhojanam is not just eating. It is seeing, it is hearing, it is touching, it is smelling. And there is bhojyam, that is to be enjoyed. Bhojyam is that is to be experienced. And I am the experiencer. These are only in the dual plane. So I am realizing now that I don't have any bhojanam. I am not bhojanam. I don't have bhojyam. I am not bhojyam. And I am not the bhokta. The feeling of bhoktrutva is in the intellect. Up to that, bhoktrutvam is there. And beyond that, there is no bhoktrutva. If I am experiencing bliss in my state, that is deep sleep, even then, minute form of vrittis are there. Otherwise, how I will have that experience of bliss? Because I am remembering in my waking state, there must be such experience in the state of deep sleep. If experience is there, there must be the experiencer and the process of experiencing. Therefore, minutest vritti is there even in the deep sleep state. But I am not that. All these are states through which I am passing through. So here, all these are negated. So in the 3 lines, I am negating things or objects with which I am identifying myself, or things and objects which I am superimposing on myself as me through a proper discrimination and a deeper contemplation. I am realizing I am not that, I am not that. And this is the process of negation here. And by negating what I am affirming, affirmation is this: cidānandarūpaḥ, śivo'ham, śivo'ham. So we need not explain that because it is repeated in all the shlokas. I am of the nature of Chit and Ananda, that is knowledge absolute and bliss absolute. Who am I? I am Shiva. I am the most auspicious. I am the most auspicious. So this reiteration is a form of reinforcement. Because for many, many lives and in my past days, I was thinking, this is I am this, I am this. I was identifying with all objects. And it is that much rooted in my personality. And now to remove that, again and again, the same thing is repeated. I am Shiva, I am Shiva. So that is the 4th shloka. And we can go to 5th shloka in our next sitting. And whatever question you have to ask, you can ask. If I know the reply, I will reply. So now it is time for question and answer session. Namaste.
Namaste. Today's first question is from Yogacharya Venugasuji.
Namaste, Swamiji. Pranama.
Namaste. Namaste.
Swamiji, I have a question about Ashtavargyas. Smaranam, Kirtanam, Keli, Prekshanam, Guhya Bhashanam, Sankalpam, Adhyavasayam, Kriya Nirvritti.
See, when we are considering what brahmacharya is, it has many levels. In the highest sense, brahmacharya is being one with the ultimate. That is the life of the highest knowledge. Aham Brahmasmi. That is the highest form of brahmacharya. And when we are observing from a still lower level, Brahma is a word to mean Veda, And the lifestyle we are accepting to learn, to study Vedas, that is brahmacharya. And from still lower level, see these higher and lower, all these are in the relative plane only. So from a still lower level, Brahma is Veda, Shastra. Routine we are undergoing to have that is brahmacharya. And study under a guru, living with a guru and study under him, it is brahmacharya. And then there is another level, that is controlling our senses, controlling our mind. That is brahmacharya. And then there is another brahmacharya, still lower, that is abstaining from sexual activities. That is brahmacharya. That is, we are not considering in the gender level and doing our such activities. So when we are considering brahmacharya in that level, that is to mean celibacy. When we are taking brahmacharya as to mean celibacy, then there are many forms of intercourse. Intercourse is not something we are doing as male and female physically. That is not the real coitus. There are many stages, many levels of intercourse. Sexual intercourse. The first being smaranam. Smaranam, that is thinking with it. Physically, we are not going to any man or any woman. That is of the opposite gender. We are not going to them. But in Shastras, we will see the term strinam there. Strinam, of women. Why? Because the Shastras are taught to disciples who are males or who were males. So when we are teaching to male, of course, we will have to say strinam. But when we are teaching to females, we will have to say pumsam, of males. So first is smaranam. That is thinking within their qualities, like that. How beautiful they are. It will be nice to be with them, like that. Then darshanam. Can you tell the order? I am not remembering that order.
Kirtanam, Swamiji.
Kirtanam, kirtanam. Kirtanam is singing, praising, praising. We are praising the opposite sex. She is that much beautiful, or he is that much handsome, like that. Kirtanam. Kirtanam in front of somebody, or kirtanam within, without doing outward kirtanam. We may do that within. Both are kirtanams. So it will, kirtanam will make more and more attachment with it. So smaranam is there, kirtanam is there, then what?
Keli.
Keli. Keli is not the third. No.
That's the way I wrote it.
Huh?
Prakshanam. Prakshanam.
Prakshanam. See, prakshanam is that. Keli will come in the next stage only. Prakshanam. Prakshanam. Prakshanam is seeing. See, that is, prakshanam is not simply seeing, it is deliberate seeing. Always that likeness to see, allow to see you. I want to see you. Or even if I am closing my eyes, I am seeing you within. That is prakshanam. So smaranam, kirtanam, prakshanam, then
Guhya bhashanam.
guhya bhashanam. Guhya bhashanam is speaking in secret, not openly. Speaking in secret. Guhya is that which we are doing in secret. Because, see, we can openly speak with everybody. When there is no limited intention within, we can speak with everybody. But when a sort of possessiveness comes, even though we will speak outwardly, we will love to speak in secret, without making others hear. That is guhya bhashana. And it will develop an inner preeti with it. Preeti. Preeti is likeness. Preeti is love. Preeti is attachment. And when in that stage, a sort of identification comes. Without you, I cannot live. That is in that stage. When we are in that stage, or we are doing that, or we are being that, always we will be thinking about that. We may be doing this or that work, but at the same time, if we are doing that preeti, always the object of love, it will be kept with it. It will be there alive. That is preeti. Then
Sankalpam.
Sankalpa. See, there are different versions. However, Sankalpam is always we will be thinking about it. And inwardly we will think, I am becoming one with it. Even though physically mating is not happening, physically that union is not happening, mentally we are mating with them. That happens with it. I am becoming one with my boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever he be. I am visualizing that inside, even though physically I am not mating. That is sankalpa. And then
adhyavasayam.
adhyavasayam. Adhyavasayam is the meaning of adhyavasayam is deciding, but here adhyavasayam is deciding that I will have physical intercourse with her or him. Earlier it was not there. Earlier, within my mind I did that. Now I am fixing that. I will do that. I will have a chance to be with her or with him. So, deciding that we will mate physically, we will unite physically, that is adhyavasayam. And then the last,
Kriya nirvruti.
Kriya nirvruti. Yes, Kriya nirvruti. That as the term itself shows, the meaning is clear. It is Kriya nirvruti. So after deciding, he or she will go for physical union and they will become the man and woman, male and female. They will become one. That is, physical intercourse happens. So these are different steps, or these are different types of intercourse. So all these are intercourse. Never we must think that physical intercourse alone is intercourse. No. When we are visualizing that, when we are thinking within, when we are developing that affinity within, when we are praising the greatness of the opposite sex, all these times, it is intercourse, even though it is not physical intercourse. So all these intercourses, all these types of intercourses, when we are abstaining from them, that is brahmacharyam, in the sense to mean celibacy. That is celibacy. But we must remember, brahmacharyam is not celibacy alone. It have different meanings, and the highest being one with the ultimate reality, residing in the self. That is the highest form of brahmacharya. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste, Swamiji. What is the difference between parabhakta and enlightened person?
See, actually, there is no difference at all. Because a parabhakta has transcended the basic stages of bhakti. That is the path of devotion. That is, he has transcended the levels like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, all these stages. And he is above all routines. He is always immersed in the highest contemplation. He is not asking for anything. He is not praying for anything. Because he is not seeing any difference. He is accepting what he have as that came from the Supreme. So he is not praying. He may chant, he may not chant. He may do some worship patterns, he may not do some worship patterns. Because he is above all do's and don'ts. He is always immersed in the highest Ishvara. He is a parabhakta. He is a parabhakta. Yallabdhva matto bhavati, stabdho bhavati. Getting what? He will become, or he will reach above the worldly plane. He is established in his own bliss because he is seeing Ishvara within. That is the state of a parabhakta. And the man of realization is a vijnani. He is one with that. There was an inquirer within earlier. And he inquired. And that inquiry was there. Now, there is no inquirer. There is no inquiry. There is no inquired. He is one with himself. So that is a man of realization. So in the highest level, when we are viewing this from the highest level, there is no difference between parabhakta and jnani. But still, when parabhakta, we are calling him a bhakta, parabhakta. The word meaning is, he is having the highest form of devotion. So there is the devotee and to which he is devoted, even though he is seeing in himself. So a parabhakta will become one with Bhagavan, and then he is not called as a parabhakta even. He is Ishvara himself. That is the highest stage where it is said, Brahmaveda, Brahmaiva bhavati. He is of the very nature of Brahman. See, when Venudas-ji asked that question, about Ashtavidha Maithuna, we discussed that like Smaranam, Kirtanam and all. Then there are many versions, and this is the most famous version. Smaranam Darshanam Strinam. Those who want to write down, they can take it. They can write down. Smaranam Darshanam Strinam Guna Karmanu Kirtanam. I will read once more. Smaranam Darshanam Strinam Guna Karmanu Kirtanam Samichinatva Dhistasu samīcīnatvadhīstāsu. Once more, samīcīnatvadhīhi tāsu. Samīcīnatvadhīstāsu prīti sambhāṣanam mithaha. Prītihi sambhāṣanam mithaha. Sahavāsascha samsargo. Sahavāsascha samsargo ashtadhā maithunam viduhu. Ashtadhā maithunam viduhu. Meaning is the same. Smaranam, thinking within. Darshanam, seeing. Guna karmanu kirtanam, praising their qualities and their activities, their abilities. Then samīcīnatvadhīstāsu, having a sense of greatness in them. They are great. When such a feeling is there within, that is samīcīnatvadhi. Then prītihi, that inner attachment. Then mithaha sambhāṣana, talking together. Then sahavasaha, living together. Sahavasaha, living together. And samsargaha, that is physical intercourse. Ashtadha, types of maithunam, intercourse. This is the famous version. Now we can go to the next.
Next question is from Dr. Kamalaji. Please unmute and ask.
Please explain and give us what is Omkara Upasana and how can we do that?
Oh, this is a very big question. So we have discussed about Omkara and its meaning. Pranava and its meaning we have discussed many times. Now the question is Pranava Upasana. How we can do that? So Pranava Upasana is doing Upasana with the help of Pranava. Or the object of that Upasana itself is Pranava. First meaning is, with the help of Pranava we are doing Upasana. Then it is Pranava Upasana. But in the second place, the object of Upasana itself is Pranava. How? Because Pranava is Brahma. Om iti Brahma. It is not a representation of Brahma. It is not a symbol of Brahma. It is Brahma itself. Om iti Brahma. So considering Omkara as the very Brahman, we are worshipping. So in these two ways, we can approach this subject. Pranavopasana. So in the first stage, we are chanting Pranava, Omkara repeatedly. It is simple chanting. So this is only the primary level, simple chanting of Omkara. And when we are chanting, the inner meaning of Omkara must be there within. I'm not going again to detail the meanings of Omkara. In two ways we can take as Omkara as Brahman, or we can divide Omkara into A, U, Ma, and the unexplainable sound waves which continues. And we have to take the meaning, individual meanings, So as explained by Bhagavan Patanjali, Tajjapas tadartha bhavanam, chanting of Onkara with tadartha bhavanam, visualizing within its different meanings. So this chanting is the first stage of Onkara. And now slowly we will go to the next level. That is going from the gross level to the subtle level and realizing the oneness of gross and subtle levels, and from there moving still deeper into the causal level and realizing the oneness of the gross, subtle and causal level, and again moving still deeper into the self which is above the causal level. This is a very subtle style of upasana, and this is the real pranavopasana. And this pranavopasana is explained in many Vedanta prakaranas, and there are many Upanishadic mantras with the help of which we can reach this stage of inner upasana. For example, Upanishad says, Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahastram Sharam Hyupasa Nishitam Sandhayita Ayamya Tadbhavagadena Chetasa Lakshyam Tadevaksharam Somya Vidhi. So this is a pranavopasana. Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahastram. You take the greatest arm with you, and what is that? It is the dhanu, bow. And it is explained in the Upanishad, Aupanishadam. And you take an arrow, and with the help of that, you shoot it. And what is the aim? That is the self. Then the Upanishad explains what is the arrow, what is the bow. Pranavo dhanu, sarohi atma, brahma tallakshyamuchyate. In the same way, the Upanishad explains pranavopasana as just like Arani Manthan. When we are churning Uttararani and Adhararani for making or for manifesting fire. In the same way, the Jivatma Bhava and Pranava churning again and again and manifesting fire of knowledge, that is explained in the Upanishads. So, what I am saying is, Pranavopasana is explained in many places. And prakaranas like Panchikaranam, written by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. It is aimed to give us a clear picture of the inner upasana. So, knowing all these things, when we chant the A of Onkara, A, the first syllable of Onkara, then all the meanings of Akara will come. But they are this gross world, the waking state, Rigveda, and the individuality we are having in the waking state, that is Vishwa, and our gross experiences in this world. All these are meant by A. And it will be dissolved into U. When Akara is dissolved into U, it becomes O. What is U? U is subtle world. U is the state of dream. U is the individuality I am having in the dream state, that is Taijasa. U is Yajus. So many meanings are there. So, from the gross I have reached the subtle. I have transcended the waking, and now I am realizing both this waking and dream state are one and the same. I am not that. I am the experiencer. And from the subtle plane, I am going to the causal plane. That is, I am dissolving O. What is O now? O is the product of A plus U. That I am dissolving into M. This M is the causal plane. It is the causal body, Karana Sharira. It is the state of deep sleep, Sushupti. It is the individuality I am having in the deep sleep, that is Prajna. Now, there is no gross, there is no subtle, everything is in the causal plane. And now I am taking this to the next level. That is, I am dissolving this M in the waves of sounds, or we can say simple vibrations, which cannot be defined, which cannot be explained. That is coming after M. Just like we are chanting Omkaram, Om. That M is dissolving into that. So now I am above the gross, subtle and causal plane. Where I am now, I am myself. So this is well explained in the Adhyatma Ramayana as Vishwam tu akaram purusham vilapayed ukara madhye bahudha vyavasthidam tato makare pravilapya taijasam dutiya varnam pranavasya chantime makaram apyatmani chidghane pare vilapaye swatmani sarvakarane. So now I am established in myself, which is above the gross, the subtle and the causal, doing with the help of Omkara. Because the style of Omkara is so. It is moving and dissolving in U, then it becomes O, and it is moving and dissolving in Ma. Now it is Om, And that ma is again going and dissolving into which we cannot explain or define. So this is the subtlest form of pranavopasana. But see, we must have a proper guide. We must have a clear vision within. And for that, it is essential to have Upanishadic studies. And as per our tradition, I am not limiting pranavopasana only to sannyasins. Those who want to do, they can do. Nobody is restricted. Nobody is prohibited. But in our tradition, single pranavopasana or pranava without other mantras, pranava is given to sannyasins. That is, we have to discard all our duties and responsibilities connected with karma to do that, to perform that. This is our tradition. It never means no others can chant pranava, no. And there are many systems, many sampradayas where we are chanting pranava alone while doing some pujas, while doing some karma, while doing some yoga sadhana. Chanting of pranava is there. It is allowed. It is in the tradition. It is there. But still, when one is accepting sannyasa, he will be given pranava as it is. And to reach to the inner meaning of pranava, this pranavopasana, with the help of panchikaranam, that will be given to the disciple. So there are many avenues through which we can travel, and many ways through which we can discuss pranava and pranavopasana. But now I think this is enough for our contemplation. If anything is remaining, we can discuss in our next sitting. Now we can conclude. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi.
Manikyaveenam upalayanti madalasa manjula vagvilasa Mahendra Neeladviti Komalangi Matanga Kanyam Manasa Smarami Chaturbhuje Chandrakalavatамse Kuchonnate Kungumaragasone Kunrekshu Pashangusha Pushpavanahaste Namaste Namaste, Namaste, Jagate cha Mataha. Thank you.